Got my Bible here, and I'm ready to read to you absolutely every book of the Bible that was written by someone who had met Jesus. We can go ahead and skip the Hebrew Bible since Jesus wasn't alive when that was written, and go straight to the New Testament. You ready? Not a single word. There is not one book of the Bible that was written by someone who had met Jesus. Yes, some of the Gospels are attributed to Jesus' disciples, but scholars agree that they didn't write them. They were written decades after Jesus' death. The earliest Gospel that we have in the New Testament is the Gospel of Mark, and it was probably written around 70 of the Common Era. The attribution of those Gospels to disciples didn't happen for many years. They also don't read like eyewitness accounts and don't even claim to have been written by the disciples. Paul's letters weren't written by someone who had met Jesus. Paul, by his own admission, had never met Jesus. And even that great narrative we have about Saul encountering the risen Christ on the road to Damascus is something that the author of Luke Acts, the same author wrote both the Gospel of Luke and the book of Acts, it's something that he invented for the narrative. Paul never makes a mention of that, and surely if he had encountered the risen Christ, he would have mentioned it. All of the other epistles in the Bible are later, and the book of Revelation is later. None of those authors had ever met Jesus. Now, some people argue that since Jesus is the Word of God, Jesus was involved in the creation of the entire Bible. But that's a theological argument that there doesn't seem to be much evidence for, and certainly historically we can prove that none of the Bible was composed by people who had met Jesus. I think that that means we need to approach the biblical text with a bit of humility, and we also need to approach the sayings of Jesus with some humility too, because it means that not every saying attributed to Jesus originated with him.